Waking up in the morning light, kind of feeling like I'm in flight. Clouds are gathering up above, turning whispers into love. And I'm calling all angels, won't you hear my cry? Calling all you angels, lift me up to the sky.
Hello.
Good afternoon. How
Happy
is
Sunday.
it? Is a happy Sunday. It is the
Mhm.
start of football season, so I know a lot of folks like football season. I can take it or leave it, but it's football.
Oh, it's Trevor's favorite. He's a
It's some,
Detroit Lions fan.
I'm right. I got a friend of mine that's a Detroit Lions fan, so he's pretty optimistic.
Very.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, they come around. But, I don't know too many Detroit Lions fans.
Yeah.
You know. Hello,
Well,
it's
hello,
me.
it's me. If you'd like a reading, just leave your zodiac sign and your question. Yeah. So how's your week been?
Not bad. Short because the holiday, and then I had Friday off, so um, it's been good. How about you?
Pretty good. Haven't really done much, to be honest. Just school.
It's the transition from summer to school. How's it going, Doriella?
Mm-hmm.
Dorella?
Hello.
It's me as a Leo.
Okay. And I'm guessing a general reading.
Jacqueline. Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Don't forget to like and subscribe
Mm-hmm. And share.
and share. Yes.
I love life. Okay.
All right, for it's me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's me as a Leo.
Yeah.
Should we start or
It's
should we wait?
TL on my Facebook page. We can only tap into your energy. We can't tap into anybody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could start. It's me, is a Leo, general love reading.
General. Are you currently in a relationship? It's me. Or are you? Well, I have the first card I pulled was the 10 of bolts, and the bolts is fire. So it would be the bolts is wands, which is fire. But it seems like there's a burden, something that's weighing you down. Maybe if you're coming off a relationship, or maybe you're in one that just isn't really happening for you. But it seems like something's weighing you down. So whatever that is, it brings us to the next card, which I'm showing is the river here, and that's like the death card, but yeah, the river, right? 13, yeah. But it's not necessarily. It's basically it's advising you to whatever it is, whatever is burdening you here, if that's your thing, to just kind of let that go and let the go with the flow here in terms of it's ending, and then let it, just kind of go with it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a real, quick thing, that, you know, turbulent, it doesn't have to be tumultuous, but, there's a burden that, just kind of let it go and surrender to the flow, and it'll take you to, what you need to. Ultimately, I have the 10 of Roses. Now, the 10 of Roses is the cups. So that's fulfillment. So, that's your whole, everything in the bag of chips kind of deal. So if there is something burdening you in the matter of love, whether it's an old relationship or one that you're currently in, if that's burdening you, there's an end that ultimately will come to its conclusion. But, you do have positive on the thing. You might have to, go through a little bit before you get that. Jess?
Well, they want you to be more open to giving and receiving, and to be more open with your communication as well. It's time to take a break. Number 50, which 5 is the number of change and transformation. I feel like they want you to take a step back and go within a little bit more and open your heart, expand your mind, and let your love pour into everything that you do. And that's what I have. I see where there have been some struggles and some challenges with this. You're very grounded. You want a very stable future, and I see this coming for you. I feel like maybe right now you feel a little left out in the cold, perhaps, but I do see things changing and for the better. And that's what I have. I hope that helps you.
Hopefully, yeah.
And be open to new things.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, with the last card that I pulled there, which was the 10 of Roses. I mean, it's you have that fulfillment. You know what I mean? It's that energy surrounds you. It just seems that, there's a little turbulence right now, and that corresponds, I think, with what Jess was saying. Just, let maybe focus in more on you, and let that let that all pan out. And I'm certain that it'll be fun.
Yeah, with this lunar eclipse in Pisces energy, there's a lot of endings and new beginnings happening. They want you to, by being open, I also see that as surrendering to the flow. So whatever, right, whatever leaves is meant to leave, whatever stays is meant to stay.
You're welcome.
Okay, Dorella is a Gemini. She wants to know if somebody is on her Facebook. I don't know if we're reading I don't think we read other people's energies, so maybe we can try to just do a reading for her and see what comes through on her energy.
So, general.
And Jazz, what is yours? Yeah. And Jazz, what is your zodiac sign?
So I think that lunar eclipse is going on right now, somewhere else in the world, but yeah. So.
And like you said, it's going from Pisces into Aquarius, correct? So that's like a lot of, well, with the Neptune and Pisces, there's a lot of illusions going on. So a lot of masks are falling, a lot of confusion there's clarity coming in.
Well, so general reading that I got. So the first card I pulled was the Nine of Skulls, which is basically the Nine of Swords. So it feels like there's like anxiety over something. Not, it doesn't seem overwhelming. You know, there's an underlying anxiety that kind of lingers, and for whatever, whatever that is. And this is like a general energy. So I'm not saying that everything is filled with it, but there may be a portion of, your thoughts or where you're at that seems to have this anxiety that, and it could have something to do with, your original request for your Facebook or whatever. But it just seems like there's this anxious energy. It doesn't seem too overly, because the next card that I pulled was the Two of Bears, and the Two of Bears is the Pentacles. So, I mean, there's flexibility. There's kind of like a balance, a juggle. I'm trying to find the right word. It's a beginning of a thing. You have the infinity thing. So you have, you're juggling two different things. So it's a start of something that is it. Maybe the anxiety is the fact that you're starting something new, or you're musing about starting something new, and that could, cause that anxiety because you're in the middle of two different things. You don't want to drop a ball on either, but yet, you know what I mean. They're just kind of in balance. So it's important to find that balance between those. The next card I pulled was the Four of Roses, right? That's roses. Yeah, the Four of Roses, and the Four of Roses is cups, and so it seems like there's the potential for, there's this one rose where it's blooming great, it's doing all it should, and then there's like three other roses that are just kind of dying on the vine. So it has the ability of perhaps whatever you're jungling might might not be all that it's cracked up to be, but it could very well, maybe this is more in your head, and that's where the anxiety comes from, because you're like, well, you have these other options, but maybe there's just one that suits you, and you're not really 100% certain on that. So ultimately, I think if you find that balance and that grounding, you should, it should take you. Just don't live in your head with that anxiety, whatever that is, or whatever portion of that is. And if it's something you're undertaking, well, it's okay. Just, go forward with that. Jess?
Yeah. They want you to have more trust. I see where you may be going through a period of stagnation or where you feel stagnant, but right now they're saying it's a time for you to go within and get a new perspective. I have the Nine of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and I also have the Nine of Wands. So you've been through a lot in the past, and this is coming out underneath of the Hermit card. So they want you to go within and find the wisdom from the past situations that you've gone through, and to get a different perspective, something that will help you stabilize more in the future. Because I have here by the end of the year, it's something that you've been struggling with is going to get better. I do see it progressing. It may take some time because, like I said, we do have the Knight of Pentacles under the Hanged Man. So it may feel like you're in a period of stagnation. But Julie, one of the people who also does readings, she always says the gap period. It's God's protection. And it's the preparation, God's area of preparation. So I do see things getting better for you. They want you to have trust and to go within to get a different perspective on maybe past relationships or a past with a specific person. But yeah, that's what I have. I hope that helps you.
That's probably why, I was like getting that anxiety from from that 9 card, because you pulled the 2 9s as well. But definitely,
Mhm.
the Hermit always is a good indication. Go in, and you can never go wrong, because that you'll yourself, your inner guidance will never steer you wrong. Just you got to learn to listen to it.
Right, exactly. And sometimes we need that stillness to help us find the answer or to help us gain the wisdom and the clarity. You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Jordan.
The next person would be Jazz. I don't know their zodiac sign,
I
but
don't
do you
think
need
they.
that or?
I don't necessarily need it. I mean, sometimes it helps. Sometimes, yeah, I don't know. But Jazz
Yeah.
wanted the teaching job, right?
Yeah, starting a new teaching job
Okay.
tomorrow. How's it going to be?
A new teaching job.
Hello. Oh, Aquarius. Okay.
Did you want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So the first card I got was the beautiful Ten of Bears, and the Ten of Bears is like basically the Ten of Pentacles. So it's legacy. It's you're building something here. So I mean, if this is a new teaching job, it certainly feels like it's got the potential to be a real lasting, solid thing for you. I mean, it could definitely be something beautiful. They got all the bears, 2 wolves hanging out, and it's just a very positive thing. You know, that you're building. So I mean, that's a good way to, you know, where it's going, a good direction that it's going in. The next card that I got was the Hero, which is strength. So the strength card is well, there's a lot of may not necessarily be a difficult task, but it's not a easy thing. I just got done telling you, hey, you're gonna have a great time, but I mean, it's going to be challenging, I believe, and you're up for the challenge, because the hero is got strength, and it's willing to undertake the task, and you have all the tools in your toolbox that you need to do it. So it's just you're set for that task, which is you know it's giving you a positive a positive momentum forward. So whatever the challenge is, and with any new job, no matter what, there's always going to be challenges, and sometimes depending on if it's something you're comfortable with, or something completely new thing, but whatever the challenges is, you have that, and you'll be able to handle that. And then the third card I pulled, of course, is the 6 of Skulls, and skulls are the swords. So with the 6 of scores, it's a transitional period. Obviously, that you've gone through that, but this is definitely a transformative, positive, momentum forward, that it's change. It's you're bringing in more of a positive, a positive thing. With you were saying, if you had the stagnation, well, that's all ended now, because the next job seems to be a fit. You definitely have the strength, and whatever led you up to this point, you built yourself up to a point that you should be able to undertake it. But you definitely have a transition and a phasing into the new job, which I think that everything energetically seems to me that you're ready. You're ready to face it, and it looks like it's going to be a very promising thing. Just stay grounded and stay focused. I think everything will be fine.
Beautiful. Yeah, they want you to go after more of what you want more of what fulfills you. Also, don't let your past hold you back. I don't know what that would be in reference to, but they do want you to be more confident when you walk into this job. Uh, you are going to be a very inspiring person to these people. I can see that. And I do see this being a cycle or a period for you that is very stable. Um, just make sure that you show up as your full self, because I do see that it's going to be very inspirational and influential for them as well. And that's what I have.
Yeah, definitely that, trust in the journey, that, this is part of it, and it's the unfolding that's bringing you there. So just, I think that's what I get out of that 6 with all the skulls around it and the ship. It's like, this is your journey. So, trust in it, and, you can't, doubt yourself. I think you're in the right spot. If, if this is the next path, then trust in the journey and trust in its unfolding.
Yeah. And this card says, don't waste time watching others live how you want. It's your turn now to dance. So after that period of stagnation, it's your time. So go out there and enjoy the journey.
And that had bees on it too. So did the hero card. It was like
Mhm.
inside the lion skull in that card. And I put it back in the deck, but it's a honeycomb and there's all bees and they're all swirling about, and they make the infinite symbol. You know what I mean? So that's it.
Yeah. And bees hold a very high vibration.
Yeah. You but yeah, well, you got that hero card, so your confidence is there. I think if you just, what I mean, just stay grounded and stand, like Jess said, stand in your, in your authenticity, that you'll
Yeah.
be fine, because energetically, I think it's what it's unfolding exactly as you need it to be. So just stand in there, you'll be fine.
I don't know if Lori wants a reading. Hi, Angie. If you want a reading, let us know.
And
Yeah, trusting the journey and going ahead.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're fine. You'll be fine, Jazz. I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. And I did see a lot of inspiration. So not only are you going to be inspiring others, but I feel like they're going to be inspiring you in return.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to be a great mentor for these people.
Angie wants a love reading.
Does she? Because I don't want to get on her bad side.
I've never known Angie to want a love reading, but okay. Is that who was next after that? Was there anybody next after that?
I had Lori down, but I haven't seen her since we first came on, so I'm not sure.
Who was after that? Any other?
It was Angie, I suppose.
She didn't want a love reading, right?
Oh, just watching? Okay.
So, where was we? Were we going to do a general for Angie? There's some explaining to do.
Oh boy.
Well, were you listening to them? I mean, how did you get involved on these terrible dates? Maybe you weren't taking their advice. So, all right.
Okay. All right, Spirit. Angie said you got some splaining to do.
Some splaining to do. Well, Angie, I pulled I pulled the 4 bears, which like he's like holding on to all these bears, like holding on so tight that something's gonna escape. And maybe that's just it. Maybe you're holding on to something that you shouldn't be holding on to. And then the next card I got, well, they both kind of flew out, was the hero. And we were just talking about the hero not too long ago. So that's the those of you playing the home game, hero is the strength card. So you're definitely stronger than you know, Angie. So F's. That's all I had to say. You're stronger than you know. So just kind of, don't hold on to something that may not be worth holding on to. And you're strong enough to put the app down. What do you got, Jess? That wasn't a love reading, by the way.
I'm still shuffling.
Let it go. Let it go.
I was watching the movie K-pop Demon Hunters. It's so cute. Ooh, new love coming in.
Wait, I thought we were supposed to be doing the love reading. Every time I look at these cards, I notice something new.
Mm-hmm. Another ace. Ace of Swords. A breakthrough. Clarity coming in. What is this? I do see you as very confident, and I see someone here. I have the King of Swords. This person's very generous, very open, very giving. I feel like the problem is a lot of these guys come up or as cocky or confident, but you as the high priestess, you see right through everything. And so they try to sweet talk you, but it doesn't work. That's hilarious because I know that's true. I don't know if you have a Virgo in your life at all. Maybe even a Capricorn, honestly. Something that was very toxic. You're moving away from that. I have the Six of Swords twice. I'm also hearing you already know what some of them are going to say before they even say it. So it's like, why bother? Jeez. Have faith, divine timing is at play. Number 9. So, hey, and I have May 19, so 9s are significant. But yeah, somebody is coming through. A lot of cars flew out, so I can't take all of these.
And I drew him 6 of bears. So that's your reciprocity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I like his star shine glasses. He's got his shine going. So look for that reciprocity.
This person is a social butterfly, but they do have a tendency to hold back or keep things to themselves. Because I noticed, like you said, you were noticing certain things on the cards. Right here on his tie is a moon. And so I'm seeing the moon on the throat chakra as this person may not speak up right away. Because you're the Queen of Wands. You've got that confidence, that drive, that energy. It may intimidate this person. But that's their fault. That's their problem, not yours. The card I have is no, you don't break that easy anymore. Instead, you use things as fuel like an alchemist. And that's what I have for you.
There is, you could throw a rock out your window and probably meet a guy, Angie. I can't guarantee the caliber of the guy you'll meet, but I'm sure that they're every place, man. Of course, if you hit him in the head with the rock, it might start off pretty bad. You know, I didn't mean to hit you with the rock. Don't throw a rock out your window to meet guys. Is what I'm saying.
Gotta knock some sense into them, right?
If you live like in a second floor, you can drop it onto them. I got it. Okay.
Right. Yeah. See, and then you close the window. Nobody else ever knows.
Nobody knows. I'm not sure what I'm not allowing. Come on, Edge.
Well, this person might be different. This person may shock you.
Try the rock thing. Try the rock thing.
Oh, yeah. A lot of them out there are only interested in that. And see, I see something like that as that's a soul tie. You know what I mean? That's a very sacred connection. That when you're getting involved with somebody like that, you're also, in my opinion, taking on their demons at the same time. And because nobody you ever meet is going to be fully healed. I think we're all still trying to heal something. Because every day it's, new progress, a new lesson. But yeah.
Well, there is no end to the path, and you just keep going. You're right. There's no, well, I do this and I'm done. No, I heal this and then I heal that and then I heal that, and then it just, progresses. I don't think it ever stops. I think, you know what I mean? You just always got to go forward.
Mm-hmm. There's always a lesson to learn, or, yeah. Wisdom.
Roberto.
Yeah.
Actually,
we have Jenna M wanted a reading.
Jenna M. Okay, Roberto, we need your question and general reading and your zodiac sign. And Jenna M, do you have a zodiac sign for Jenna M?
I don't. She asked about a move, though.
She asked about a what?
A move.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go first this time?
Yeah.
A move. It's an upcoming move. Is it planned? Libra. Okay.
Okay. I have, it might be time to mess around in the portal of transformation and see what's unveiled. So there is a transformation going on right now. I'm seeing it may not happen as fast as you would like it to, but I do see you putting in the effort here. They want you to get out of your head. I do see some overthinking here about maybe steps forward or your path that you're on, but they want you to get out of your head and focus your energy. You are working towards what you want, your wish fulfillment. I do see that coming in here for you. It keeps wanting to spit out more than one card. There might be there's something here about a work gathering. Okay, this work gathering may bring in exactly what you are looking for. I have the Ace of Wands. So, creation. One more card. This could even be hanging out with family or friends or they're saying September is not the time. Not the time for what, Spirit? I don't know if you're going through anxiety or maybe there may be something going on in your life that is a lot of chaos right now. It could be a person. I have the Two of Cups. They don't want you to focus on okay. They don't want you to hold back anymore. This could also be communications, apologies, but I see this holding on to something or holding back. They want you to be able to let go and let it flow. Yeah, see, Four of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles, that's 5. And we have the 5 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Under that, 6 of Pentacles. So you are going to be receiving. That's what I have. Oh,
I have
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
The
You're fine,
first
go ahead.
card I pulled was the Page of Skulls, which is swords. So I think what this is, is adopt like a student mindset. You're in the process of I suppose the move, if that's it, but it's asking you to be know the rules of the game, know that you're what you're going into. You're the just take that, it's a start of something, it's the beginning of something. So go with that. The next card I pulled was the wolf, which is the devil card, and from that my takeaway and what Jess was saying, right? What Jess was saying, but my thing with this card is they're just holding on to the chains that are binding them. So it's like they could just let go of that chain at any point in time and be free. But are they choosing to hold on to the chain, to hold on to that because it's comfort, it's something that they know, and they don't want to let go. So I think that this is just like whatever whatever it is, just, don't be seduced by the complacency. If let go of that chain that's holding you there, because you certainly have control of that and you can drop it at any point in time. The next card that I pulled was the Sunflower, which is a sun card. So this is abundance and a lot of good things that are there, but you have to be willing to just drop anything that's holding you back, because you hold the chain. You know what I mean? You could just, it's time to let go. Exactly. And then with that comes comes the abundance of the sun, joy, and it's there for you. So just follow that, make sure that you have that in the move. It's the beginning of a new scenario. Even you're moving to a new place, but it's all new. So just adopt that mindset and then let go whatever is holding you back. Whatever that fear is, you have control of it. Just let it go and go with that. And then you got the Sunflower. That's all I got.
Beautiful. I hope that helps you.
I hope so too. And good luck with your move. I'm certain that it'll be good. You have to come back and let us know how that goes. Like I said, just don't get too hung up. If it's binding you down, you have the ability to let it go and just go with that flow.
Yeah. Oh,
I like that card.
This card just fell out. It says, how will you know how beautiful your wings are if you never give them space to grow? I like that message.
You'll be fine, Jenna. I'm sure of that. You're welcome.
Yes, of course, Crystal. Yeah. I will be right back. Just a few seconds.
So let's see. This is where I would tell a vaudeville joke if I could remember one. You absolutely may ask a question, Crystal. Do you have a specific question in mind? And if you have your zodiac sign, that would be cool.
Sorry.
What did I do? Absolutely nothing, to be honest with you. I vacuumed the pool for the last time, so that was pretty cool. And none. Well, I floated yesterday too. I really like floating. Vic, love yourself, Vic. That was
How
it.
you doing, Victor?
So we have Crystal, and I think we're waiting on a zodiac sign.
Yes, and Roberto wants a general. He is a Taurus.
Was Roberto next?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could have been shuffling the whole time while we were waiting for you. I gotta think vaudeville jokes. Put me on the spot, guys.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm on a
okay.
new medication.
That's all right. I should have had vaudeville jokes prepared, and I do. I got a whole bunch of them, man. I'm just not good with the lead in. All right, Roberto, general. Roberto, you got a lot of change going on in your life? Anything happening with that? Are you just kind of taking it easy, maybe. I'm seeing a little bit of change. Um, Not like, hmm. So the first card, can I go? So the first card is our eight of roses, and it's just moving on here of it seems like you've reached a point. You got these beautiful roses here, but it seems there's something like just something's lost its luster. You know what I mean? You know some that, yeah, well, this is all good, and it's it's complacency in a way, but it's not really serving. It doesn't feel like it. You know what I mean? So it seems more like you're at a point where you know I need to move on. I need a little bit more energy, or I don't even know that it's guidance, but it just seems like it's quickly approaching the point where change or something needs to change to before you reach stagnation. So it may be good, but it seems like a level of kind of complacency, but not it's just kind of waiting around for something to do kind of deal. Not it's like, well, I could do a lot of different things, but I like to think of that as because you got everything right here, but everything's exploding in the background of the the sun, the moon, and everything. So it's more of just kind of let go and let life come to you. The next card that I pull is the Seven of Skulls, which would be the Seven of Swords. And it seems like that's a distraction, that there's some, there's some distracting you, that maybe it's dishonesty, somebody on somebody else's part, but it just, this card always reminds me of that, that eyeball right in the middle. That's just really distracting all the other skulls here. And it just seems like there's a distraction. And maybe that leads back to this, why you have that feeling of, well, I gotta let go of something. And that could be a distraction, or the distraction that maybe you need to let go of. Because it brings us, the third card is the King of Bolts, and that is success. That is, think big. It's freedom. He's the master, and he's going down the trail, his life's path, but he's stepping with confidence, and he has that. So if there's something that you're hung up with, in your mind, that's distracting you, and that maybe there is a feeling of complacency, that that you just kind of let go of that, and then ultimately the path, your journey, although it's it ebbs and flows, but he's high stepping with a little bit more confidence. So if there is any kind of distraction or anything like that, I'd encourage you, the energy, just kind of let that go, and go with that, and just kind of stand into your true authentic self, and that'll propel you forward. I hope that helps. Jess?
I have here, practice becoming who you deserve to be. The ego will try to resist, evolve anyway. So you are going through a transformation here, and I have here, time will bring a surprise, and it's the number 32. And 3 and 2 is the number 5, which is change. I also picked up on the deception, the deceptive energy. This could be somebody you're dealing with currently, or somebody that you dealt with in the past. I see there has been some distance between you. This could be physical, this could be emotional. I'm not sure, but I do have the 3 of Swords. This person or this situation is or was very upsetting for you, and it did hurt you. But I see the 3 of Cups, which is reunions. So this person could be coming back to try to heal things with you, but it's all here to help you overcome. That's what I have.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
I got that king as well. That ultimately it's pushing you forward. It's there's a lot of good in that, and so if it is a past energy that that you feel, because with the distraction that I got, I had that same kind of feeling, and if it is that, just kind of don't deny that you feel how you feel one way or the other. Just kind of like, all right, well, that's the way I feel, and let it go. And yeah, definitely move forward. I would recommend that. You know what I mean? You'll feel it, and that's okay, but don't buy into it, and just don't hold on to it, and then ultimately, you'll move forward, but don't buy into the distraction. I hope that helps.
Yeah. Okay. Crystal's a Scorpio. She asked about a specific person. We can't read into other people's energy, only your own. So we could do a general love reading and see what comes through for you if you're open to that.
1 second.
Okay. I don't know any vaudeville jokes either. I hope everybody's having a beautiful Sunday. I know it feels like fall here, the most part. I mean, it is 76, but this morning it was really crisp outside. I love this time of year. hmm Okay, good. I can do that for you.
Sorry about that. So, did we say a general love reading?
Yes, general love reading for Crystal, Scorpio. Oh,
Do you have somebody in mind?
yes, she was asking about something. You can go first. It takes me a while.
Well, so the first one I got that came out was the Four of Skulls, which would be the Four of Swords. So I think this is just like saying, focus on you, and initially here, that within um kind of not necessarily withdraw, but just really focus on you, and everything that's important to you. Ultimately, it brings us to the Terrapin, which is the first card of the Bears, which is manifestation. So, it's see the Bears reaching for for the gold ring there. So I mean, you have the ability to pull in what you want in terms of love. And I'm not saying the person that, what I mean. I think you should just have a more vision of what you feel, love is, and that probably by focusing, internally, and withdrawing into yourself, then you have a better idea of where that is, and it brings you to the, the the terrapin of Bears, which is, that manifestation. The next third card that I pulled was the Nine of Bears, which is abundance, and that's that's ultimately where you're going with that. That's what you want to pull into you and bring empowerment. Your lasting love, or whatever your ideal of love is. Again, I really don't like love readings because most people are like, well, does this person love me? Well, yeah, maybe, but wouldn't you rather have the right love than something that doesn't fit? And this is, all that abundance for you. So I think it starts out, just be, be focused on you, and then starts out there, and then ends with beautiful abundance. After you, Jess.
Okay. One more card out here. It's interesting. I have 2 5s here, and I have the number 55 here. Time is frozen. You are going through a period of transformation in relationships. Um, okay. I see right now you're in a position where you feel like there's some sort of challenge, and this is weighing very, very heavy on you. You are grieving something here, but I do see that you have wish fulfillment coming, and you have the sun as well. This is joy. This is the happiest card in the deck to receive. And actually, this card will trump all the other cards on the table. I shouldn't have said trump, my bad. But things are going to be getting better for
It's a
you here.
different
They
card
want
game.
you to, yeah. They want you to trust your intuition here, that, you do have love coming in, love that's here, and it's overflowing. And you may have been seeing synchronicities. This could be 5s, 7s, whatever numbers you have been seeing, or signs, but it says spirit is always whispering in signs, synchronicities, intuition, sacred secrets just for you. Are you listening? So they want you to meditate, like you were saying, I believe, to go within more.
Yeah.
And the answers are going to come to you, the answers that you seek.
That's really what I got out of that 4 card. Sometimes, it really, it pulls me in just the way it is. Well, I don't have it. I put it back in the deck, but it just seems like it's, all of them are kind of like, if you look at them, it seems like they're pulling, and it's just, to me, the energy is just like, focus in on you. So, whatever that means to you. For everyone, it's different. So, I mean, if it was certainly a
Right.
difficult thing that you might need to spend a little bit more time there, but if it's just something that, correct a few error corrections here and there, then you might not have to. But yeah, definitely, do that, because the ace and then the 9, the ace was the beginning of of the whole thing, which is manifestation. The bear's reaching up saying, hey, yeah, let me have that. And then it was there. And then, of course, the 9 is everything that's beautiful with that whole abundance. I mean, it's almost the completion of the cycle. So, I mean, you're on the right path. It just if there's something internally that you need to take care of, then take care of that. And certainly it'll open up a world for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Crystal. Hopefully that helps.
Next, we have lovely 1111 would like to know if we see any positive changes coming in for her moving forward. Okay. Do you have anybody in a relationship currently? Lovely 1111. You've got somebody's attention. There we go. Finally. Ooh. I see this as a very good opportunity for you. Please. This person seems a bit stressed or anxious right now on how to move forward. So I don't know if this is somebody that you know. Okay, you do have a look. Mm-hmm. Why the Knight of Swords? Okay, well, this is ending. They have clarity coming in. There's a breakthrough here. Mhm. Jesus. Okay. There's balance coming in here.
Yeah, I see that too.
And this is definitely an opportunity that I think you manifested. Um, and could be very long term. Let me get a couple more cards. The Time Is Now and September came out. So, oh, and today, so this is current energy for you or very near future. Sometimes you can feel it in your bones. It's that it's time for a whole new era. Listen. That's what I have for you.
I pulled the doorway, which is the temperance, and going back to what Jess was saying, yeah, I think there's like balance and yeah, that's there, but it's definitely it rings with what she was saying. So I think that as long as you can maintain that balance, you certainly, because I next card I got was the Knight of Bears. The Knight of Bears is, it's disciplined, it's determined. You see he's got his little buddy here, he's sitting on his horse, and they're looking up, going forward. So you definitely have that momentum, with that balance, going forward is going to be, it'll serve you. But I pulled the Addict, which is the Hermit card. So I mean, I think there's a little bit of isolation inside, internal, that it could go back to the manifestation. That if you're bringing in this manifestation, you certainly have everything, all your tools there. Just kind of like make sure that you're focused on that. Yeah, that that you're grounded, you have the balance, and going forward, I think you'll be fine. That's all I really got. It threw me off with the doorway card. I'm like, wow.
You're definitely stepping into a whole new era, a new cycle.
Mhm. And that's where the night, what I mean, that's, they're looking forward to the future, and they're going with that, and the balance, with the doorway card, you have to have that balance, that within you. And I think that comes with a little bit of solitude, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to completely like isolate yourself from everybody. I just think that there's a little bit of, there's a balance, right? Back to the balance card, that everyone needs
Yeah.
to achieve to get that. But I see, the energy definitely looks good for you.
And with Hermit and the Temperance card as well, that um, reminds me of alchemy. So it's you're going within and alchemizing all of that. Okay. Rosanna, did you want a reading? If not, we're going to go ahead and go with Gia. Gia is a Gemini and general.
Did you say Gia or Rosanna?
Gia is a Gemini. She was like a general.
Was Rosanna in or no?
She said hello. I don't know if she wants a reading or anything.
Well, I hope that works for you, lovely.
And I love your name. 1111 is a great number. The whole deck wants to come out.
I'll let you go first this time, Jess.
Okay. If I can get more than or just one card to come out first. Okay. Romanticize your life like it's your special film with a soundtrack and everything. Notice the magic. There is magic all around us. And one thing I like to do is to romanticize my life a little bit. To light a candle at night and let that be the only light in the room. Besides you, of course, or me. A lot of fast energy in your reading. Young energy as well. Ah, I see you may be having transformational time as well. Something that you are learning currently is going to be very beneficial down the road. This could have to do with career, school. There may be somebody around you who's controlling. You may have the tendency to overthink a lot when it comes to this person. I am seeing that.
Hey, what card was that?
8 of Swords. The Gemini card. Yeah, you have a lot of fiery energy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you said there was like new energy, right? Yeah, fiery energy. Because I pulled 2 pages, the Page of Bears, which would be the Page of Pentacles, so that's manifestation purpose, but it's the beginning of that whole thing. Here we'll look at the Page of Bears. So it's the start of something really beautiful, right? All these, wonderful things. So, and then the Page of Bolts, which is the Wands, which is fire, and that's momentum, and she's dreaming in the garden here, all these roses, but she's dreaming about what everything can be. So she's, picking up that momentum. But as Jess pointed out, I did come with the 5 of Bolts, and the 5 of Bolts is just kind of like a lot of like 5 different, 5 different, voices in your head. And that's again, Wand. So there's 5 different voices. Each one of them got like pretty something to say, and they all have just different voice. And what you take away here is just, there's a commonality that you can bring it all together. Because all 5 of them are just all too loud, so don't get into that, this one says this one says this one says this, and these are all thoughts in your head, so don't get stuck in that. And which, as I said, there's a common thread that brings it here. This card, in Grateful Dead lore, each one of those hands represents a different guitar that Jerry played. So you know, they all had a different sound, a different tone, a different voice, if you will. Well, that's the same thing here. There's 5 different voices pulling at you, and that can be very confusing if you live in your head. So don't do that. You know what I mean? Try to, you know, rein that in. But we all do it, you know. It's not, you know, it's not like, well, we don't do it, you do it, but no, everybody does that. But that's just it. But other than that, adopt that beginner mindset with the Page of Swords and the Page of Bears, and I think that you know, going forward, that's definitely you know, positive, you know, energy, momentum, manifestation. Jess?
Yeah, I also pulled, and I love how the energy does this. I have the next full moon and today that came out. And today is actually
Full moon.
the full moon. And it's the full moon in Pisces going into Aquarius. It's a lunar eclipse. So I have a feeling that they want you to, you're struggling with making some sort of decision on how to move forward. And I did pull the 5 of Wands on that. And they want you to have hope and to hold on to your faith and to put down the weight of what is burdening you. Stop the overthinking and the battling yourself, because you have the strength and the courage to go after what you want. And they're saying to do that, and you have that fire in you. So it's time to put it down. And like in the 8 of Swords, there's a sword right here in front of her. That all she needs to do is just take that sword. And these are loose, mind you. So gaining more control over your thoughts. And yeah, that's what I have. I hope that helps you. But a full moon releasing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. A full moon releasing, you could write down all of the things that you want to release. And this could be those thoughts. Get those thoughts out on paper, or get those feelings out on paper, whatever it is, and burn it. And release it under the full moon. Because I do that as well. It's a little ritual. And romanticize your life more. Even if it's just coffee or, you know, anything. I hope that helps you. You're welcome.
Yeah, I hope that helps.
I haven't seen Rosanna.
I think Yvette next is wanted a general. The spirit has for it.
Yeah. If you want to go first, I have to shuffle.
Sure. Wow. Yvette. I always like pulling major arcana cards because, well, you know, there's less of them. But you got all 3. Like all 3 of the cards I pulled were major arcana. So give me a second to take a look at that.
That's a very powerful time in your life.
Yeah, I definitely get that. So the first one I pulled was Saint, which is the Hierophant. So I mean, what that basically tells me that there's, you know, a learning, some sort of knowledge. Maybe you're sinking, you know, if you're going through, you know, something. I think that you know, there's a higher wisdom here that you're kind of tapping into that would, because the next card is the Mirror, which is, I believe that's the Tower. Yeah. What is that like? Let me check my notes. Yes, that is the Tower. So there is change. You know, there is change, and you know, sometimes you'll see readers, they'll be like, ah, it's dramatic change. I don't know that it's necessarily a dramatic change, because it could be dramatic in terms of it just takes, you don't really pay attention to it. It's dramatic because if you're not looking at it, then all of a sudden, oh, here are the changes, but there's definitely change on the horizon, when you get the tower. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It's just shattering. So those shattered nightfall of diamonds, that's just the shattering of an illusion. So you could see beyond that more, that it goes into hand in hand with the Hierophant. So there's a knowledge seeking, but I think you're going to see beyond any kind of illusion or any kind of thing. That's really, to me, what the mirror says. You're smashing that mirror. You're seeing beyond that. And then the third card that I pulled is the Musician, which is the magician. So you're the magician of your own life. You know what I mean? The sun's shining, and there's this beautiful thing. He's playing music to the bears. Everybody's dancing. So you can start to create. So it seems like there is a little bit of change, upheaval here, but I think you're armed with the knowledge of that, and ultimately it brings you to manifest, to start creating your own reality, your own whatever it is. So don't get too hung up on the fact that you got a tower and there's change and stuff, because you got two other beautiful real cards that are letting you know, hey, you're learning, this is bound to happen, because you've got the learning from this. But in the end, you're the magician, it's your life, and you're going to be able to create what you feel. That's what I have. I hope that helps.
Wow. I had the Death card and the World. You are definitely ending a cycle here. I see you overthinking something that you're doing, something that you're putting a lot of, this could even be career, but I'm picking up on you putting a lot of effort into something, but at the same time, you're questioning yourself, or you're second guessing yourself. And I feel like you are birthing something new here, because I have the Empress, and this is all about, well, like I said, creation, birth, new beginnings. You may be hesitant to move forward, but they want you to be open to all of the possibilities that are all around you. I have the Wheel of Fortune, and underneath that, the Star. So have faith that it is turning in your favor right now, and have faith in divine timing. Let me see what else.
Yeah, and that goes with the Hierophant too, because that's whatever that is in your life, you're definitely that calls you to meditate and focus in on that. I mean, a lot of definite powerful energy there that that has you going through any kind of transformative thing. It certainly doesn't you don't have to get hung up about the fact that, well, there's change, but yeah, there's a change, but I think you're prepared to go into the next phase, whatever this cycle is. It's worn out. You're going forward to the next one. So that's a really good thing.
Yeah. And I see opportunities coming to you possibly in the month of February as well. But like I said, divine timing.
There's no clock for
that. Yes. And keep your hope and your faith. That is what I have.
I hope that helps.
Sorry for going too fast, Bonnie.
It's like, slow down. So there I was. I really should slow down. And every time then I stare at the cards, like, wow, I didn't see that on there. When did that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like that with every deck. Every deck that I get. It's obviously my favorite one, but every time I get a new deck, I just get lost in the card, and it's like I go into it. It's weird. It's really it's like
Hmm.
what's the weather like in the card here?
A lot of sevens were coming through for Yvette as well.
Hmm.
Sevens and eights. So you might want to look into those numbers. May have a meaning for you.
I was like, I couldn't believe I pulled all like those major arcana. I'm like, flipping them over, like, okay, well, sometimes that happens, I guess. Usually one, maybe two. That's cool. Not normally three. So it's definitely it doesn't necessarily
Powerful.
mean that it's prominent, but next few weeks. It doesn't mean that it's prominent, but I mean, it could be subtle. It's certainly an energy that surrounds you. I don't really look the Tower card as a bad thing. I always thought the Tower card was, at first, oh man, it's a horrible Tower moment, but that gives way to something positive. You know what I mean? If you're cleaning out something, you now have space for something that is beneficial. I mean, there's always the good and bad. It's like the duality of the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's like we like to believe that we know everything sometimes, or that we have all the answers. But at the end of the day, what if you're putting all of your time and energy into something that isn't going to go anywhere? The universe or God knows that, and they will interfere. It's all divine. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
I'm excited to hear the big news that Sean is part of a paranormal group,
Okay.
the New Reality Paranormal, and they have some exciting news that they're going to be sharing soon.
Oh,
I can't wait to hear about it.
they do that thing with the box, and everybody gets the thing, and it's like all of a sudden it says weird stuff. Get out of the house.
Oh, the SB7 or SB11. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, you don't have to tell me twice. It was nice hanging out with you. Gotta go.
I love it. I love the paranormal. Ever since I was
Definitely.
a kid, I've been interested in it.
It's definitely very interesting. I just love those little boxes though. Then all of a sudden, just like you don't hear anything, so then next thing you know, this thing's telling you something, and it's not always nice stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I was better off not knowing. Okay.
Would you like a reading, Sean? I know his zodiac sign. He's a Taurus, Gemini, cusp. Yeah, I think I saw my first ghost or spirit, you could say, when I was 6 years old.
Really?
Speaking of rosary and doing the rosary, because my mom used to do her rosary every morning. I had come out into the living room, it was really early, and she was doing her rosary in this chair that we had just gotten. And I saw a man standing behind her, and I didn't know who this man was, so I screamed and ran back down the hallway. And my mom came to me and was like, "Oh, you're fine, you just had a nightmare, blah blah blah." But then I found out later on they got that chair from a garage sale of somebody that had just recently passed, and it
In
was
the
an
chair?
older man. It was an older man, and like, you could have warned me.
Not really. How yeah, man. Does that? How did that like at 6 years old? That would have flipped me right out.
Yeah, I actually for the longest time turned off any like abilities that I did have because it scared me more than anything.
Mm.
And that was one of those moments where because you don't know the person. And I couldn't understand why I could see him, and my mom had no idea he was there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah, I had a weird thing like that when I was really young, but I don't know that it was a ghost. It might have been a shadow person or something like that. So now, long story short, I keep a mug by my bed so I can throw a mug at any kind of weird shadow creatures that may be trying to encroach into my space. But that was really the only thing I ever seen that was paranormal in sense like ghost wise or anything like that. I'm certain that there's stuff around, but it's always just out of view. You know what I mean? It's like, what was that? You know what I mean? It's just out of view. But I mean, I've never like turned the corner and saw apparition or anything like that. And I'm definitely not getting one of those weird boxes that they talk to you through because I don't want to know.
Well, funny story, actually. I was walking back from the bathroom one night and I heard audibly something. And it said something like, "Hey, wait," or something like that. And it was a male's voice. Mind you, no males live here. It's just me and my kids and my mom. So I immediately placed a boundary and I was like, listen, you see these thresholds, you're not allowed to pass them. I don't have it in me to deal with this right now. But I ended up saging the house the next day and cleansing. But and I don't remember where I got this from, or maybe it's just something that I do. I'm not sure. But I keep a clove of garlic above the threshold. And sometimes I'll keep cinnamon or cloves, or like I have a broom as well above my door. Just little things.
Right. Black tourmaline.
Obsidian, selenite.
John wants a general. Angie's like talking to people in her room. Like,
Oh
man, I
gosh,
flipped out at that age, man.
wow, that's
look
so
at this guy.
cool.
It's like,
Well, if I was talking to Jesus, I'd be pretty psyched too, to be honest. I wouldn't be scared either. Okay.
So general reading for Sean.
Ooh. Aw. My parents had, well, my mom had pictures. I've seen Jesus like all the time when I was a kid. So if I saw him sitting on the end of the bed, I would be very happy. If you want to go first, you can.
So the first card I got was the doorway, and then the doorway is, we were just talking about the doorway, weren't we? It's temperance, so it's balance, peace, that sort of thing. So it seems like the general energy is just like stay grounded and balanced and in that. Because the next card I pulled was the Ten of Skulls, and the Ten of Skulls is well, that's the Ten of Swords, so it's just it's the end of a real, sometimes you just got to kind of cut your losses and let go. I mean, you see how like all these skulls are just piled on, and then the final one there is just kind of sinking. He sees what he wants in the distance, but you know what I mean, he just doesn't have that to go on. So sometimes you just kind of gotta cut your losses and let go of whatever that is, and that's freeing, because the next card is the Lover's card, of course, which is, that's passion. That's, it doesn't necessarily have to mean, love in terms of, romantic love. Could be, sure. But I think this tells me more of there's a passion, there's something that you're really passionate about, a desire, and that you really, that whatever it is, be it, career, relationship, whatever, home life, whatever, there's a passion that ignites you, and that is certainly there. So I think with the balance, the temperance, you can achieve that balance. You can, let go of this heavy weight of, of all that, and just let your passion, bring you through, and creativity of that all. And that is what I have for you, Sean. Hopefully that helps.
Sorry, one second. Okay.
Angie's mom was just saying, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Guys are everywhere." You wonder why you can't hit one with a rock out your window.
The rocks probably aren't even landing. There he goes. Sorry. There's a lot of twos in your reading, so I am picking up on that balance as well, and I think that you are trying to decide what direction to go in, and I see it being love and relationships as well. You are actively manifesting what you want and your wish fulfillment, and they want you to keep your eyes open. There is a risk that you've been thinking about taking that's going to be very beneficial for you. This is a new journey, something that's going to bring you a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. I have here, you have the power to create the timing by taking action, which I think goes with that leap of faith, that taking the risk. And something you may be deciding to put on the back burner for right now. I also have, life can get hard, but remember that blessings are all around. There are tiny miracles everywhere. So you are getting the signs and the synchronicities. And like I said, they do want you to stay open. Keep an eye out, because this wish fulfillment is coming. You are manifesting it.
Yeah, that goes in hand with what I was feeling from the Lover's card is I mean, there's something passionate that's really burning in you, and that's really what it's urging you for. So let go of that, whatever's burdening you or whatever's holding you back, because I think that ultimately that'll charge you forward.
You're creating a shift for yourself.
Angie, do you still see these spirits, or because I'm just curious? Because that's pretty awesome. I think what you, as a child, that anyone can see. You wonder when what are children looking at, or what they're talking to and stuff. We don't see it because we've been trained on that. But I think when when you're young, a young human being, there's so much, because nobody tells you can't until they tell you. I remember seeing staying home from school one time, and I was really young, and seeing on like one of those old talk shows or something. They had a guy who was a mentalist, and he was bending keys, and this is a true story, right? So my grandfather had this big key ring, and the guy was doing it. All he do is rub it, and then with your hand, and you hold it in your hand, and you think, bend, and then he's going around the audience. All these people are bending keys, and they're all amazed and stuff like this. Well, I'm watching this on TV, so I grabbed my grandfather's key rings, right? And I went through and I bent all his keys, right? So my grandfather gets home, he was pissed. He's like, who's playing with the keys? Well, naturally, I'm the only kid in the house at that point, so I'm going to get the blame. But they weren't buying the fact that I did it with my mind, but I did. you know, because it was like, I was like, oh man, that's so cool. And they were like really bending. I was like, oh, let me try this again. Right. So fast forward, you know, after that, later on down the road, forgot all about that. Later on down the road, I was having a one time at work, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine. I'm like, oh yeah, man, I could totally do that. Couldn't do it. Like, I had no idea. I was when I was a kid. I remember getting my ass kicked from my grandfather because I'm bending all but I could not bend one key. And my friend's like, yeah, sure you can. No, man, I did it. I'm telling you, I did it. So I think that, you know, when you're younger, you learn, you know, you have all these, everything that's open to you. And then just somewhere along the line, somebody says, no, you can't do that. Or no, that's not real. Or no, which is tragic. And so I was just curious if you're still able to do that.
I feel like also children are so much closer to the divine in a way because they haven't been brainwashed per se. You know what I mean? They're fresh, they're new, they're open to the journey and to all of that. So they don't really lose that until somebody breaks that down out of them. And getting it back is hard, I will say. It's hard. I still sometimes will see things out of like the corner of my eye. For instance, like I'll be outside and I'll think somebody's walking across the parking lot because I see him out of my peripheral, but I look and there's nobody there.
Nobody there. Right.
Yeah. And even I had a 7-foot tall shadow figure in my room. And for the longest time, it was like frequenting everybody's apartments. So funny. But we haven't had anything lately. Knock on wood. I try to cleanse every day. I try to keep everything fresh.
Yeah. It's Angie, it's true story. My grandfather was so upset. My grandmother is like, they're yelling at each other in Italian. Like, when they're looking at me, I'm like, I saw it on TV.
My dad is Italian, and one of the things, like, I used to get so upset when he would leave the house as a kid, and I think back on this now, and I'm like, why did I do that? Like, I just made his day so much harder. But I would take his car keys and I'd throw them in the trash so that he couldn't leave.
Should've
So
pegged
the
him.
poor guy would. Yeah, you're right.
You know, you could do that with your mind. I see this guy on TV.
Oh, you're so right.
Oh, so did he finally get to pick up on the fact that you were tossing him out in the trash?
Oh yeah, and he would have to dig through the trash every morning before he went to work, and I feel so bad now looking back because I'm like, this poor man. He was just trying to go to work. I'm ready whenever.
I'm ready whenever. Don't
If
forget
you
to
wanna
like and
wait a few
subscribe.
minutes.
Thank you, Bonnie. I hope you feel better. I appreciate sitting in for you. Jess,
Thank you.
it's always a pleasure to hang out with you. We always have such interesting things. It was kind of a slow energy day today for me, but because that lunar eclipse, I think.
Mhm. It's a time to surrender to the flow.
Yeah. It certainly is.
Waking up in the morning light, kinda feeling like I'm in flight. Clouds are gathering up above, turning whispers into love. And I'm calling all angels, won't you hear